Let's see if we are live or not. Yes, we are. Renita, your camera is off. Now we can see. Let's wait. Yes, we are live.
Okay, my camera is on. No, it's fine. No.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Let's wait for some time.
Okay.
Let me check on LinkedIn whether things looks good or not. LinkedIn. Yeah, LinkedIn also we are live. So let me see, the page is coming perfectly. Yes, here also. Yeah, looks good. It's good here too. Five people have started on. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to this Mastering the ETL Tool with Matillion. So this is the lecture number 2. Lecture number 1 already have started last week, where I have given you a brief overview of what Matillion is, what Matillion as an ETL tool is capable of. And then we have seen how to launch a Matillion through AWS and how we can integrate with the Snowflake and AWS at the backend side. All those things I have explained it to you, and entire documentation I have freely made it available for you on GitHub. Right? On GitHub, if you go to the master data analytics over there, you will find the master, the art of extract, transform, and load with Matillion. So the entire documentation is placed over there. Right? So let me share my screen and then I'll show you how it looks. Just give me 1 minute. So today's session, Renita will be taking care mostly. So I'll be just here. So as I keep saying that this session, me and Renita both will cover together. So let me share my screen and I'll show you. Yeah. So this is the entire documentation which you see, master the art of extract, transport, and loaded material. So every video in the video description, I have given the link already. So if you go to the video description, you will find all these links embedded there. So today's class is all about DDL, data definition languages, where you can see the documentation is already present here. So any class which we are going to take here in Matillion, you can find this. Also, if you want to study Matillion in a very fast-paced environment, I have kept price to be very, very minimal. $799 already. New Year offer is there. If you apply this, you'll get course dust in 700. That also you can do, where you get all the live recording videos of my entire class, which I have taken along with Renita, right? So if you want to learn Matillion in a fast way environment, because it may happen, I don't come very online often due to my work and other classes altogether. So if you want to learn Matillion, you can buy this course. If you don't want to buy, that's also good. You can study with us on YouTube. I'll try to come every 1 or 2 days in a week, where we'll teach you the entire Matillion end-to-end. Already Renita has done the entire project end-to-end, which is hosted there in the live section. Right? So today's class will be the lecture number 2, and the entire content is hosted this here and also in the video description also. So let's start, and we are good to go from here. I'll make Renita as co-host so that she can share her screen. Yeah, Renita, over to you.
Thank you, Anand. Let me share my screen.
Yes.
Yeah, is it AWS is being seen on the screen?
Yeah, we can see
it. Yeah, okay. So let's get started. So last session, Anand has actually helped you all install your Matillion, right? Your Matillion is done, your environment is set. So let me start it. So this is my instance, and I say start instance. So I'm waiting for the status check to be completed. So what we are doing today is I'm just going to give you an intro of the UI. What are the different components, a few basics, and then we will start with the DDL. We won't be able to complete because there are quite a few DDL statements there. So today we will just do the possibly the first one, that is the create table. So like the speciality of Matillion, or what a speciality of any automation tool is, you don't have to manually do anything at the data warehouse or the database. So we are going to create a table from Matillion, and I'm going to show you that it is created at the Snowflake level. And possibly if we have time today, then we will move to delete. If not, then it's the next session. Okay. So I'm waiting for my status check to be complete. There need to be 2 checks. Meanwhile, I would ask you also to initialize your EC2.
Guys, make sure to stop your instance once you are done with the job. Otherwise, Matillion and AWS will give you a very huge bill, right? If you're leaving instance running for just one entire day, close to $10 to $15 it will come. That's why when we run Matillion, there's a very special time when we have to run this instance, and during that particular time only, for that particular time duration, client has to bear that cost. So it's not like that every time it will be keep on running. No, Matillion doesn't work that way. So there's a certain time duration. Maybe your company might be like at my current organization at PMI, we schedule at 1:30 p.m. and we run close to for the next 2-3 hours. Right, for that entire duration, only the AWS will charge you. And we know all this cloud technology is pay-as-you-go platform, right? So make sure you stop it. Set a reminder, otherwise it will encounter a very, very huge bill. Okay, so that's a piece of advice. Renita, go to the networking, or so go to the security. Down. Go to the networking.
No, it's here. It's still initializing.
It's still initializing. Okay, it takes some time.
Yeah. So meanwhile, what we'll do is because we want to, we can upload a file meanwhile, but we are not. Okay. So for this session, in future sessions, when we are loading, we'll be using coupon the file. So what we do is we keep it in a certain bucket. So you can keep the bucket ready. I think you all have already done it last session when you all were creating the environment, right? So that is also, so we need this to be initialized to go ahead. Not sure why it's not happening. I think better stop it once and start.
Stop and start then. It takes some time to start. Yeah, it takes some 5-10 minutes time. This is the latest one, Renita, right?
Yes, yes. I just created this today,
4/7.
Jan 2024.
Take it. Yeah.
Let me start in.
Refer the documentation, guys. First class, I have clearly given you the entire documentation on this, how to create an account. For this, make sure you have an active AWS account, make sure you have an active Snowflake account, and make sure you have an active Matillion also. 3 things is required for this. So once you have created the account successfully, you can refer step-by-step instruction how to launch. That was a part of the lecture number 1, which I have taught you. Okay, so make sure you go through it, launch it before any class of this ready. Right. So today's class, you will see the interface. Interface also I have shown you at the backend, and we have also done the storage integration also. At the backend, we have connected with the Snowflake. So any table, any database which you populate in the Snowflake, same thing, you will see the entire replica created in the Matillion. Right. So today's in DDL class, what does DDL stand for in SQL? Data definition language. Whatever you create command, update command, insert command, which you are doing it, right? Using Snowflake, using your SQL query here without writing SQL query, we'll see how the platform works and how you can create a table without writing any piece of code, right? That's the reason I am telling you, everyone, those who are from the non-tech background, those who are from the BCom or from very, very general background where you have not done any coding at all. If you want to master SQL, which is a bread and butter, Matillion is the first tool which I would say you need to master it. If you master Matillion, you will understand how the SQL works at the backend side, because Matillion, when you do anything, when you create a table, it will give you a certain SQL script by default automatically. Right. So this is a very, very good innovative way to learn SQL, I would say. There are various ETL tools available in the market. You have Informatica, you have Alteryx, we have the Matillion also. So such tools exist. But the beauty of Matillion, which I think is it's very, very easy, you can master SQL using Matillion also. Matillion will be a stepping stone towards your mastering SQL. Right. So make sure you go through this entire Matillion playlist. If you want to buy a course, go ahead and buy it and be ready. If you have one ETL tool in your resume, it's a very, very valuable addition into your profile. Right. It's a very, very valuable addition. So that's why I'm stressing on this part. That's the reason I have started this entire playlist here. Yeah, let's see whether it's up or not. I think we should have launched it before only.
Yeah, I didn't think it will take so much time.
So until unless Matillion is launched, we can't do guys anything at all, because this
Okay,
is how.
so yeah. So what we will do is
Meanwhile, Nimita, let's go to the DDL command in Matillion. Just show them how they can check your
so
DDL commands. Yeah.
sure. So what does Matillion do is it creates jobs. Okay, what is job? Job is like you a sequence of different events happening. We put it inside a job. Okay, so a very good example I remember Anand had given, my job is to teach and your job is to find a job, right? So similarly, in a Matillion you create jobs are sets of sequence of events. Okay, now in jobs for Matillion, we have two kinds. So this is the Matillion official documentation. Okay, so it's always best to refer. Matillion has a very I won't say it's concise, it's detailed, but it has good amount of info. So if you see here in my screen, there are two kinds of jobs. That is, one is orchestration job, one is the transformation job. So what is orchestration job? These are like Anand mentioned, DDL statements, wherein you create the structure. Basically, you create tables, you alter tables, you get data from outside and put it inside the Snowflake which you have conferred. Basically, the Bagadaudi wala work this orchestration job does. What does the transformation job do? It does, now the data is already in your Snowflake. Whatever work you want to do, the cleaning, you want to do some joining, so all these work is done at the transformation level. Okay, so there are two kinds of job: orchestration jobs and transformation job. Okay, that's one thing we could discuss. Meanwhile,
I think your Matillion will be up. Just check once.
Yeah.
Just click on that instance address. I'll tell you. Just click on that address. Just click on that address.
Yeah.
Click on that address. Yes. Go to the, come down.
It's in running, it says here.
Open address. Yes, open address. Click on the open address.
Okay, where's open?
There.
Yeah. I'll copy this.
Click on that. Yes. Proceed. Yes.
Okay, it's come. Yeah. So as you all know, the username will be EC2 user and the password will be instance ID. Okay, so usually I copy the instance ID first and then click on open address. So, saves a step. So just go and log in. Okay, we have a screen here. Yeah, so you all have already created the project name. So I'm just loading it. Probably you all will only have Matillion examples as of now. This is a folder I have created. So these are how the jobs look like. Okay, so this is the give me a second. This is the orchestration job. This is the transformation job. Notice the color. This is blue and this is green. Okay. So like you see, in the first view, you can see it's all creating, loading data. All this happens at the orchestration level. Okay. Blue. Next is the transformation, wherein you're doing, if you see in the, you don't need to know in detail. If you just see, it's cleaning, it's flattening, it's adding, removing duplicates. So all this data types work is done at the transformation level. So other than that, we have something called components. Components is nothing but these are the small, you can say, apps inside which do that particular work. Okay, so in joins, if you say join, it will join. We are using these components to perform certain tasks so that you have to write minimal amount of code. Okay. Um, so these are components. So we have different set of components for the orchestration job. And when you select transformation, we have different set. So let me click and show you. See, you have a big list when it is orchestration, because we have lot of connectors here, which makes life very easy. Next, shared jobs, will not talk about it now. When the time comes. Next is the environment, which you all have already created. What is your environment for the Matillion? Your cloud, wherein you all have selected AWS, and then the data warehouse, for which you all have selected Snowflake. So other than this, this entire thing is called Canvas. Okay, that's the first screen. And then if you click here, you have many other things. These are basically switching projects, managing projects. So let's not get into the details now. Just seeing, having a touch over the UI. This is when you want to export your projects, import your projects, and you can also integrate with Git. It is a very good thing. And we will have a session on this as well. So you can manage your SQS basically when you have certain transaction and you want to have a messages going. So this is how you configure, okay, using the SQS configuration.
All these
So
things we'll discuss. So don't worry, guys. Every options which you see here, right, from everything we'll discuss. So entire Matillion will be teaching you. After this, you are set in Matillion for the next 3-4 years down the line. Everything will do in and out. You will see the most complex project which Renita has done in the last month, which we have done. It is a 3-hour project and we have made it. Okay, so everything will be done. Don't worry, just follow all the lectures. That's all we want. Okay, just follow the lectures.
okay, to start with, we'll just create a folder. It's not a mandatory thing, but it makes things neat and clean. So let me say AWA live and say okay. And like I said, when I right click, just see the options. These are, one was create folder, which we already used. If you want to rename it, you want to cut it and copy it and delete it, it's those are the options. Other than that, we have the orchestration job, transformation job. Obviously, first you will need an orchestration job, because we want to create the structure, plus we want to load the data. So I'm clicking on add orchestration job. I'm saying create so see, eventually I'm thinking of creating coupons table, but we may not do it today. But let me name it, create coupons table. In Snowflake. Okay. So we have got a start here. So like I told, whatever you want, they are in the components. These are like the mini apps. Okay. So mini components. So what do I want? So see, these components are very nicely segregated: AWS connectors, DDL. So I can just search like DDL and say create table. Say we don't remember which section it is in, you can just say create table. So you got the suggestion. Just drag and drop here. Okay. So it gets automatically connected. Fine. So let me walk you through this part of the interface. Here you have the properties, and whatever you configure is gonna auto generate an SQL statement, which is you will be amazed to see it. Next is the help section for the current component. Okay, so whenever you are in doubt, what do I put? So if you no, you don't need to memorize all this stuff. So because the tool is giving you the help regarding each column, what it is. Say this is not clearing your doubt, you have this link over here on the bottom, and you have to say full component documentation. You will directly go into the documentation, official documentation of create table. Okay, so Let me go back to
Again, as we
Matillion.
say, these official documentation, you won't be able to understand. Even when you will work in a company, so official documentation, it's very, very difficult to understand. That's the reason we are making it very, very easy for you. So if you see the documentation which me and Renita has created, it's a very simple language, click button with proper screenshot and all. So just follow the documentation and video and you are set. You won't be having any doubt at all. And if you have any doubt, you have my number, you have Renita's LinkedIn contact details also, you can post it there, or you can ping me on WhatsApp or anywhere, right? Yeah.
So yeah, let's go ahead. So as the, it's pretty intuitive. See, it's saying its name. Okay, I'm just giving it a name. Create table coupons. That's pretty good. Say okay. And now in create, we have three options. Okay, create, if not exist, replace. Now, when do you use it? Say you are a newbie in a company.
1 second, Anita, don't explain that. Guys, those who are watching us live, if you know the SQL command, can you tell me the difference between these three? This technical knowledge is not required. If you know at least basics of SQL, tell me the difference between when you will go with create, when you will go with create if not exist, and when will you go with replace. Already the documentation says, but what's your intuition? What do you think? Which one to choose? We are creating for the first time. Say Renita has created the table. Again, she wanted to do some changes. Then in that case, what she will do? So if you would have referred my Snowflake playlist, what is the thing which I have taught in every video, right from the SQL where I started till the end of the video? What do? I write one command called create or replace, right? Create or replace. But here create and replace are two different things. So which one you will choose for the first time, right? Say, I'll tell you the very realistic situation. When you will work in a company, you will be working in with 10,000 and 20,000 of table. So if you are using the first create command, say for example, Renita is creating coupon underscore some XYZ. What if that is already created, right? Did you have that clarity whether the table is already created or not? So in that case, you will choose the second option, create if not exist. Since if Renita is pretty sure no one has created this table, I know from my past experience, she will choose the first one, create. When she will choose the third one, she has done some changes in the table. She's not happy. Maybe some data type is wrong or she wanted to add some column. She will go with the third one. I have explained you in a simple, clear-cut manner. This is what these three options are. Even the documentation will say. Renita, show them the documentation, no, the help section. Just the help section. Here only.
Yeah, give me.
Close that. Help.
Yeah.
Yeah, go up. Same thing, it will say you, right? When to use create if not exist, when to use it. Oh, top, Renita. Create and replace. Yes, it's clearly written, right? And I have explained you in a clear cut, easy manner. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so be very careful when you click replace there. So probably someone would have created it and must be of great value, and we would have been just replacing it. So it's always safe to select create if not exist. So I go ahead with that, say okay. And what is this database defaults? If you remember yesterday when you all created an environment, you guys have selected the Snowflake defaults, So what in case I go ahead with environment defaults, this is what is taken. Okay. So yeah, so I will go and choose demo database. Okay. And then I'll say the schema is demo schema. And the new table name. So let me give the name as coupons. Let's say okay. And table type. Now there are three kinds. Okay, there's permanent, temporary, and transient. So this is very good. There is a very good thing in the. Give me 1 second. Table
Here on in
type.
the help section, Renita, you'll find it.
No, yeah, I have highlighted it here. Okay. Yeah. So now the documentation, it's the same thing what you're seeing in the help and the Matillion. So there are three kinds, this permanent, temporary, transient. I would like to change the order here a little. I would say it should have been permanent, transient, and temporary because that's easier to perceive. So what is permanent? Permanent is hold data indefinitely. I mean, permanently keep it, and I should be able to restore it using Snowflake's time travel feature. It's the feature of Snowflake wherein you can recover data. Okay. So permanent is permanently hold the data and I should restore it. Transient is permanently store the data, but I cannot restore it. What would be the third? Third is it is not permanent. That is, basically it will be destroyed at the end of the snowflake session. Okay, that's easier to remember that way. Permanent, transient, and then temporary. Okay, so let me go ahead and obviously we want this as permanent because we are going to work on this table. Say okay, and then we select what columns we want here now. Okay, so let me just quickly open my coupons table Excel to show you the data. So data in the coupon table is like this. Okay, so it's having 3 columns. So let me first just copy the column names and then I will explain about the data types. Okay, so now what are the data types here? There's vector, there's number, there's float, boolean, date, timestamp, time, and variant. So let's get back here. So what does vector mean? It means any kind of data. Usually we will put string data into this. Okay, but it can hold anything. Okay, and what does number mean? It means the whole numbers that have no decimals can be put here. Okay, what is float? The numbers with decimals, and actually even without decimals also. Then boolean, whenever it is true or false. A date, and when there is timestamp, that time you select timestamp. And when there's only time, the time. It's very clear, right? And there's variant, which is a flexible type. We're not going to discuss now because it's going to get complicated that way. So we will take it for the another time. Okay, um so that's about the different data types. Now when we look into our data, everything is numbers, right? So we could just select numbers there. So I'm gonna select the same. So number, say number, and number. Now what's the size? So I can leave it like this. It's gonna take the default, but simply it's gonna take too much of space. Okay, so it's best always to in when you're really working in a firm, it's best to select the good size, because you don't want to simply eat up a memory. Okay, so here I know the maximum is of size around 12. So to be on a safer end, I'll be on 13 here and some 10. And this actually the maximum size was 2 numbers, but I will just, for the safer side, to keep the future entries, I have made it 3. Okay, next, precision. So when there's decimal places, you would like, or when you say worker, you want to, when you say decimal places, actually the precision you want to write over here. Okay, next is default values. So in your data, if there was no value, what value should it take? So that's the default value. I would like to keep it blank as of now. So you can choose whether what kind of data you want. You want the not, do you want the nulls or not? You want them to be unique. Okay, I won't touch them now. And if you want to add a comment and a masking policy, nothing is like you are masking it, basic security. So we are not going to touch all that now. Other than that, I would like bring your attention here to the text node. Okay, this is a very nice option where so basically the same data, if you just don't want to click and go ahead, or just you have to copy that data from somewhere else. So this is if you just want to copy paste, this is the place. You say text mode, copy paste, and remove the text mode. It fits properly into those rows. And mind you, this spaces matter. Okay, then we have a use of grid variables. So these are a different kind of variables from which you can also extract, take the metadata. You could use this. Will not complicate that now. We will do it when we are going through grid variable. Okay, so let's say okay. So the default correlation is not needed now. So this is basically used, it's when there is sorting and when there is different so basically when it's English, you read it from left to right, right? And when it's Arabic, you read from right to left. When it's Chinese, you read from top to bottom. So we are telling it from our intelligence, our subconsciousness, because of our knowledge. Now, in case of in our data, if something like that happens, how do you handle it? It's handled with the correlation. Okay, collation. Okay. So next we are saying primary key. I don't see a single primary key here. Everything has a repeated row. So I will take a combination of two. Okay. So I will select this and say go there, and say okay. And clustering is a concept of Snowflake. To tell it in easy ways, so it is a rearrangement Snowflake does, so that it is very quick at getting the data for you. Let's not complicate that as well, because it's a Snowflake concept. So in case you wanted to you can select the keys, the columns that will be clustering. So data retention in days. So now, because this is it is a Snowflake related thing, wherein you can retain data. So because it's a standard, the retain is 1 day, and when it is enterprise, it goes up to 90 days. So you can select this table, how many days you want the data retention. Okay. And then you go on comment. We are done with the properties now. So let's see practically what happens. Quickly checking if everything is fine. Yes. Now, how do you run it? You say right click, and if you see, I can also say run components. Each of these things are called components. Okay. And I can say run component, it will run the component in this particular environment. See, it is showing me the environment. Okay. I could say run job as well, because what would have happened when it was, there were 5 components. When I say run job, all 5 would have run. When I say run component, only this would have run. So while I'm doing this, I'm showing you few of the options. Okay. So we are not left with covering too much once. So I'm going to just say run job. So it's going to run. So, and once it is run, see, you can see your status either by clicking here, or you can say, just if you want even more details, just go here and here. And it says, yeah, I've created the table. So now let's go and see it in Snowflake. We can first see it here itself in the environment. So I'm just going to go here and here, and you see there's a coupons table. Yay. So next, let's go to our Snowflake. And let me refresh. And yes, we have a table that popped in, and that's coupons. Okay. But this is having no data because we have not loaded any data. We have just created the structure. Okay. So let me go back. So with this, we have created a table. Okay. Now, like we discussed, we said we can replace the table. No, so this is the case. You have already created table. You want to change a structure a little, and I will change it now. So I am saying replace, and I say columns. No, 13 is not enough. I need 14. So I say 14, and I say, no, I want one extra, a different name. So, and I'm saying, okay, give me a second. Yeah, it's because we have changed the name. We'll have to change here as well, because the primary key will be this now. Yeah. Okay, let's run the job again. And it did run. And let's see. Yeah, we see the change here. And then let's go to Snowflake and refresh the database again. And we see coupons, and we see the definition. No, the chain has not reflected yet. Give me a second. COUPO. Yeah, the change has been reflected. Okay. So we have done all this from Matillion, right? So I showed you the create if not exists, create and replace. Now let me try, because we already have one. So what happens is, in case, see, now we told you how to use these two options. What if the data was, the table name was already there? So in replace, like we already told you, it will be replaced. If create, if not exist, it will not create because it's already existing. What if what happens in case of create? Create, what will happen is it will just give an error, and which will convey to you that the table already exists. Okay, there won't be any replacement at this point. So with this, we are done with create table. I can go ahead with delete table. Anand, should I go ahead?
Show them the SQL script. I wanted to see them the
Oh
SQL.
yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
So this is the auto-generated SQL script based on what you have chosen here. This is the SQL script. So the same thing, if you had to do it in SQL or Snowflake, this is the script you would have to run, right? If you all are aware of the create table script, this is how it looks like. Okay.
Go to the properties 1 second.
Yeah.
Properties.
Properties.
In last one, guys, if you see, comment is just for the readability purpose. So if any table, if you create, just you want to tell the user what this table is doing. So you can add your own comment. This table creates a coupon data, right? Data retention time in days, by default, it is 24 hours. Okay, because in the trial edition, because we are doing the trial edition, so it gives you 24 hours, 1 day. After 1 day, gone. Data will be gone, right? So data retention time in days is by default 1 day, since we are using the trial edition. In company, when you'll be working with enterprise edition and all those things, you can retain data for a particular period number of time. Table type, she has already mentioned permanent. So this will retain permanently. In transient, if she would have selected the transient, that means the moment she ends the session, this Matillion session, that will go off. Okay, temporary means for the time duration, if she set any value for that time duration, I want any temporary table for the next 3 hours or 4 hours, then accordingly you need to set all those things. Now we have not loaded the data. Renita, I wanted them to load the data from the S3 if we can show them, because lecture number 34 of Snowflake already they have seen. Can we drag and place one S3 component? Yeah. Just open once, let's see. Now guys, this data we are not loading directly in Excel, because you won't be exposed to directly to CSV data. So there is very beautiful component here which is called S3 load. As the name suggests, S3 load means you are directly putting data from your S3 bucket, right? Which Renita was showing you. In the S3, she has created one bucket in S3, simple storage service in Amazon AWS. There she has uploaded the data, right? From there, how she can load the data here, that will see it. Yeah, if you can show them, that would be great.
Let's see, Anand. So
I'll guide you.
Yeah, wait, give me a second. So we need to create a stage. I think you guys have not created.
I think.
No, stage was not created, I think,
let's
last
create one
session.
stage then.
So you can create a stage. So click on manage stage. This is what I have created today. So it's the same set of steps. You just say create or create if not exist, or create or replace. So you can say create if not exist, and demo schema, and name would be, say,
Give anything, AWA underscore demo.
Stage
Click on next.
Live. So external.
Now this is very, very important here, guys. Internal, external. Now I'm pulling data from where? Another cloud environment, which is called AWS. So here it will go external. Now Matillion by default, it is connected to 3 cloud. AWS, Azure, and third one is Google Cloud, right? So here by default, select the drop down. So here she has selected AWS, because backend we are pulling the data from AWS, right? Next, authentication. You have 2 things here. Pull down, drop down. Yeah, credential and storage integration. Okay, either you can go by storage integration also, which is the concept which I have explained you in Snowflake. If you don't know, or you can feed your own credential. So she has selected credentials. So let's, for the time being, let's select credentials, and we have a manage. So if the moment if you click on manage, click on this, I'll tell you what exactly is this. Click on the pencil icon, pencil.
Yeah, this I think you created yesterday.
Yes. So in the first lecture videos, guys, if you're following this video, in the first lecture, I have created this access key and secret access key. Who will give this? Your client, your stakeholder has to give it to you, or the AWS administrator. You don't have to create this at all. Just you have to feed this value. Renita, click on test. See this success. Click on OK. Right. So by default, everything, your access key, your password, everything is set here, and you can see everything it is pulling. Click on OK. Right? Now S3 URL. This is the most important thing. This is the most important thing. Your S3 URL bucket. Right? Your S3 bucket. Renita, show them how the S3 bucket URL looks from there. From where they can pull it.
No, this is
Show them
no
the
need of
S3.
pulling it, right? If you just click
No,
on
show them
this.
in the AWS environment. I want to
Okay.
show them how the layout looks.
Okay.
Just duplicate this tab, or you can put S3. Just duplicate this tab.
Yeah, do that.
So S3 stands for simple storage service, right? It's a storage service. It's a kind of bucket which your client will create. Client will give you the access, right? And here you can see that the property section. In the property section, here you can have the bucket name AWS Live Bucket and the resource name. Okay, where is the URL? Go to the URL.
Give me a second.
Go back. Objects. Info is there now. Next to object, you have the info. Yeah, next to object, you have the info. Down.
Okay.
No, select that. Select that coupon.csv. Select that coupon.csv. Copy S3. Here, your entire property. Go to the properties now. Go to the properties.
Properties
there only, next to objects. Yes. So here you will see the entire properties of this bucket. Whatever bucket is there, just S3, there is a proper syntax which you need to type it. Okay, so her bucket name is AWS Live Bucket. Now go to the Matillion. Go to the Matillion. S3 : /. You have to write the bucket name. Click on the 3 dot. Yeah, she has already copy of the bucket name. She has already written, so it has already populated it. Right? It has already populated. So whichever bucket her data is there, that she is selecting it. Yeah. Now here you won't get that coupon.csv. It's the bucket path. AWS Live Bucket / means any data if it is there in bucket, it will read it automatically. Yeah. Encryption, I'm keeping it none. If client has given any encryption, we'll select it accordingly. Click on, already you have created anything. I think you don't have to create it. Already you have created it. So select any one. Select the first.
I'll select the stage, which we just created.
Yeah.
And
then authentication is the credential. Pattern. Here pattern is very, very important. Pattern means **. The moment I say **, everything which is there in the bucket, everything it will scan. Even if 1,000 files is there, all the 1,000 files will get loaded. Okay, all the 1,000 files will get loaded. Yes. Next, select the warehouse. Whichever warehouse you want the table. Select the database. Select the schema. Target table. Yes. Which table? Which table you want? That table you need to select coupons. She has already created it. That's the coupon she has selected. See, I'm not writing any single piece of code. If you watch my lecture number 34 on Snowflake, entire thing you have to do it. Now that entire thing is chopped off. Okay. That's why it's called the no code platform. That's the beauty of this ETL tool. Extract, transform, load. Load columns. What columns you want to load? I want to load all the columns. Just select all of them. Right. Format. What is the format? This is very, very important. Let it keep it as custom. File type, we'll keep it as CSV. What type of file you have? CSV compression. Let's copy. Field delimiter. Yes. Field delimiter is comma. Because it's a CSV, comma separated values. If you are not sure what file your client is sharing, make sure you ask this question. Okay. Skip header = 1 because the first header I don't want. Right. First header always contain the column name which she has already created it. Right. Then field nothing, come down. Field as null, encoding type you have to leave. On error, you have to abort statement. That is very, very important. If there is any error, you need to abort that statement. Done and there only. Right? Purge files, let it be file. Rest you don't have to see at all. Rest you keep it as it is. Right? Now run it. Which is the one? The first one, no? Run the entire job. Run the entire job. So it will create the table and it will pull the data. Right? Let's see. If you get any error or what. Expand this. Click on that.
It's loaded.
Click on that.
It's loaded.
Click on that. Yes.
Yeah.
Bingo. Right? So again, let's show them the SQL script. What is the logic behind this SQL script? Right? See this entire code. It is nothing but copy into command, which I have clearly taught you in lecture number 34. So did we write any single piece of code? No, we didn't. Right from the table creation, we have not written a single piece of code. That's the beauty of this ETL tool, which companies investing a huge amount on all this. You don't have to write a code at all. It's a no code platform, but you need to understand this code. Can you a little bit zoom it? Your screen, Control+. So So what it is exactly doing? It is exactly copy into where? Into your coupons table, which is present in your demo schema, which is present in your demo database. Right? From where? From the stage which we have created. What is the pattern? Dot star, everything, Anand, you give me. Which is the file format? CSV. What is the compression? Auto. What type of file it is? Comma separated values. Right? Comma separated value. On error, what you want me to do? Abort statement. Right? Correct. Truncate column and all those things, you leave it. No need to do anything at all. So this is how your entire CSV file, if any file your client is there, just with the S3 load and create table command, automatically, the moment files comes into there, because you have specified your access key and everything, just drag and place S3 component, it create a table, automatically it will do it for you. Right? This is what we wanted to explain, how to integrate, how to get data from one cloud technology and integrate with another. Let's check, Renita, whether the data is there in the Snowflake or not. Yeah, I'll show you how it works in, how you can check in Matillion also. Yeah, the data is there. See? Now you will get an error if your schema there is a mismatch. Suppose by default, if you have created 4 columns or 3 columns and your data set has 5 columns, then you won't be able to read it. You will get some error like that. Little bit zoom. Go to the properties. Yeah, go to the properties. Yes. So these are all the properties which I have explained you clearly. Anytime if you have any doubt, you can feel free to comment in the section. Now she didn't run the component. She ran the entire job. By job means entire thing which is there in the green area and the canvas region. Everything will run right from the start, create table, and right from the S3 load. Okay, this is very, very important. State command, you're getting S3 load from AWS. It will fetch you the records into the table. Now, if you want to see this table in the Matillion, suppose you don't want to go here and there into Snowflake, just create one transformation job. Renita, just create one transformation job in the AWS Live. Yeah, just create one transformation job. Why transformation job? Because I want to see the table. So you need one job for that. Okay. There are only 2 jobs, orchestration job and transformation job for the table viewing. Yes. Drag and place that new. Here also down you can see. Coupons table is there. You can drag and place it there. Down, in the environment. Down, come down. In the environment. Drag and place coupon table, whichever you have created. Yes. Can you see this? So there is a component. Either you can drag and place or there is a component which is called table input. Right? Table input. Right? Now go to the properties. Table input is there. Yeah. Can you see that in the read? We are reading now. Where we are reading, not in the Snowflake, but in the Matillion environment. Select that. Very simple, whichever database, whichever schema. It's very, very easy. I love the interface of Matillion. Right? You will fall in love with this tool once you start. Target table is a coupon. Column name, she has selected all of them. Yeah. Just go to the sample. Then click on sample.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Data. Yes, see this. You can view the data here. No need to go to the Snowflake. Right? And you have the count also. Go to the SQL. Let's see the SQL script. Select star. That's why I'm telling you guys, this is the best way to learn Snowflake. This is the best way to learn your SQL. So those who are very, very new to this tech industry, very, very new to data analytics industry, learn the first tool which no one will tell you. I'm telling you straight away. Everyone will tell practice SQL. Right? Even you can ask Renita. She'll tell you from her experience also. Now, if you start Matillion now, later on, if you study SQL, it will become very, very easy. I have taught them the reverse way, right? Okay, first I've taught them SQL, then I've taught them the Matillion. Now I'm telling you to do just the reverse. Study Matillion, finish end to end, then you study SQL. You see the magic, how things happen then. You'll see that the data in reality. Okay, so this is what the important command which we have explained you. Data was stored in the S3 bucket. How did we get the access? Using the access key and using the encryption, which client will share with you. And then accordingly, we created a table, we did the S3 load, and this entire thing gets created all together. Right? Okay. So this is what, and in order to view any table, any view, whichever you are creating, you just need to do the table input, which you are seeing it here, table input. Right? Table input. That's what we need to drag. Or you can drag and place from the environment itself. Right? Drag and place the environment itself. Yeah. Renita, do we have any DDL command for them?
Delete table also. Yeah, if possible, table or DDL, delete table, or it can be done next time. Anything's okay.
Yeah. I think this much is fine for today's class. I think they will understand. So guys, your homework will be upload 3-4 files of the same schema type. Right? And try to see whether it is loading or not. right? Try to see whether it's loading or not. I'll tell you why it won't load, why only your first file will get loaded. I'll tell you that also. Now, if you try to upload multiple files here, there will be some ambiguity. As of now, we have just uploaded one file and we have just loaded it. You try uploading multiple files with the same schema, see what error if you are getting it. That I'm leaving it for you. And if you're not able to read multiple files with different name, what is the way? That will see it in the next class using some iterator components. Okay, which me and Renita will do it. That's all I have for today, right? How you can read data from one cloud environment with another. Everything is integrated, guide. दिमाग में पिक्चर क्लियर रखो, बैकएंड में क्या कनेक्टेड है, AWS, राइट? और हमने सारा credentials दिया है, so everything is integrated. Whatever you do it here, of course, at the backend it will get reflected, right? So same thing we are doing it here. Okay, that's all I have for today. Now, if you want to learn Matillion in a very fast environment, I've told you my course is there, which you can go buy. Complete video is there, complete documentation is there, right? For this, go to the video description. You will have the documentation also, which you can do step by step. Every documentation I have created. So that's all from my side. Yes. Yeah, Renita, you have something to say?
No, that's all. I think that's all we
Yeah.
had today. And that's all. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Bye guys, take care, good night, and do subscribe to this channel. Keep sharing your love and do let me know if you want any new course also, right? It becomes very, very hectic for me along with my job in order to come here live. That's why I have asked Renita to take these sessions. So me along with her will frequently come and interact with you, right? Already the project is done. The complex project is done. We'll do some basics project in Matillion once this entire component is ready. After going through this entire lecture series of 15-16 video, you are set. You can work any complex task in the company, any task. We have designed this course in a very, very exhaustive manner. Entire component we have taken care, right? So not even a single button, you will see this entire interface, which we won't be covering at all. Okay. That's all I have to say. Good night. Take care. Enjoy your Saturday evening. We'll see you next week if possible. Bye. Take care.